with us in the sukkah, celebrating until after midnight. A little more than a half an hour afterwards, when I went to sleep, is when all hell broke loose in Israel. The next morning I woke up, of course, no phones, no internet, because it was the Shabbos. I had a coffee, came to shul at 10 o'clock, and shul was full. And that's when I found out what happened. People were shooken to the core, but it took a few days till we realized the sheer horror and the magnitude of what happened. It's 6 months on the English calendar since then. And we've been woken to a rude awakening as Jews. So much hate, anti-Semitism. One of the things that we hear so often is, as a Jew, I don't support Israel. You knew what's coming afterwards. Or, I love the Jews, I like the Jews, I don't hate the Jews, but I hate Israel. You know, in this week's Torah portion that we read on Shabbat and Shul, we read about the kosher laws. And the Torah tells us that when it comes to an animal, there are certain symbols that make an animal kosher or not. It has to chew its cud and have split hooves. And the Torah tells us that all animals that do that are kosher, like the cow, like the sheep, like the lamb. And then the Torah tells us, enumerates 4 animals that are unkosher: the camel, the hare, the hyrax, and the pig. And the Torah tells us why. The Torah says, the camel, because it chews its cud, but it doesn't have split hooves. And the Torah explains each and every one of them. And the question, of course, that arises is twofold. First of all, if the Torah tells us that you need to have chew your cud and have split hooves to be kosher, why does the Torah have to tell us those that are not? There are thousands that are not. Why does the Torah detail these 4? And secondly, when the Torah tells us about these 4, it tells us first the positive, that it has one of those, and then the negative, that it doesn't. Why? The rabbis tell us something profound. You know, in the 1980s, the Cleveland University did a study. They took 2 people, a John and a Sam. They made them the exact same fictitious resumes. Exactly the same, except one detail. By John, it said that sometimes John could be lazy. And they gave it to all these recruiters. And of course, which one did the recruiters take? And the answer was, of course, John's. Because the fact that in the resume it said that sometimes it could be late or lazy, it made the rest believable. And from there they realized that sometimes being vulnerable and honest with yourself allows you to actually gain credibility. The rabbis tell us the Torah is teaching us a powerful lesson here. Exactly what makes these 4 animals unkosher that the Torah has to detail them, it's because they fake to you. They show you that they chew their cud, or they show you that they have split hooves, and they say, look, I'm kosher. When of course they're not, because they missed the other signal. So that which they have is actually what makes them unkosher. That faking it and making believe that they're kosher is what's worst. And I thought about this a lot, because this is what we've been witnessing since October 7. So many people say, I love the Jews, or I don't hate the Jews, but I can't stand Israel and genocide and all this hypocrisy and lies. Oh, we stand with Israel, but we want you to take care of Hamas, but we don't want you to do anything. We're going to tie your hands, we're going to strangle you, but you should defeat Hamas. The worst is those who show us, oh, we're kosher, but really they're unkosher. They say we support you. They say we unequivocally condemn terror, yet they really don't, because behind the scenes they're trying to stop you from protecting your people. The fact that Israel, from day one, couldn't even grieve for the 1,200 people, but had to constantly explain why it needed to defend itself. No other country in the world would have to do that. I just watched a video of Madeleine Albright on 60 Minutes from the Gulf War, when they asked her about 500,000 people that were killed, kids, in Iraq. Was it worth it? And she says she thinks it was worth it. This is America. Of course, a few years ago, the Biden administration, by mistake in Afghanistan, sent a missile that killed 7 kids and their parent, an entire family, 10 people. No one got fired. No one accused them of the things that Israel's accused of. But yet when it comes to Israel, we can't even get the right to defend ourselves. And what do they say? Oh, we don't hate Israel. But I was just reading in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, on Saturday, that they're trying to get more aid into Darfur. They only got 5% of the money they needed. There's 18 million people that could be under starvation. Crazy numbers. No one speaks about it. It doesn't even make it to the front page. Yet here with Israel, all we hear is genocide and genocide. They don't want us to protect ourselves. They don't want us to stay there. They don't want us to be able to exist. It's hard. It's painful. But the first thing is knowing the truth. Recognizing that the demonization, that all these people that claim they speak in the name of protecting civilians don't care about those civilians. Just like the camel, the hare, the hyrax, the pig. They show you what's kosher and they hide what's unkosher. My friends, we have to be strong because we're coming to Passover soon. Tuesday's Rosh Chodesh. Nisan is a month of miracles. An Exodus that was unfathomable. Yet we survived and we celebrated. The same will be here. But don't let those people fool you. Stand strong. Don't be apologizing for our right and our need to defend ourselves. Because this is not 1940 all again. Here we will defend ourselves. And we will just be deaf and tune out the noise of hate, of hypocrisy that doesn't want to let the Jewish people defend themselves. Am Yisrael.